what he brings to us is a fantastic approach to work, a musical approach to our work together, which the orchestra really appreciates. It's concentrated, it's focused, it's very clear in the way that the rehearsals get the standards to improve.
I think it's extra busy this morning with the demonstration.
What kind of demonstration is
It's
it?
the farmers demonstrating.
Aha. Farmers.
It's millions of them. I reckon there could probably be 1 million.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Starting at the festival hall.
Really good. We'll play for them, huh? I don't think I've done any other Haydn symphony with them, or any other Haydn piece up to now. But I haven't conducted them so many times either, you know. So I'm just starting kind of a very close cooperation.
That's the kind of core repertoire that the reputation of the Philharmonia makes one think of. If you think of Karajan first and then Klemperer, this is that was how the orchestra was founded, on this kind of repertoire. So it very much goes with, he's a perfect match for what we need in terms of his training and his background.
Good morning, Mr. Howie.
Good morning, and how are you?
Sounds. Are you okay?
No, I've just a cold. This piece I started, it was one of my first pieces, the 88. Actually, I think even the first Haydn symphony I did, yes. And then I didn't do it for a long time and took it back. But I think when I was coach in Frankfurt with Scholti in the early 50s, I did a concert in Göttingen, which was a small city in Germany, very good university, and that's why I did this piece. I think it was maybe in one of my first concerts. Terrible, I guess,
There's no let-up at all, and a 3-hour rehearsal, he gets through what some other conductors take 6 hours to get through, and there's barely a moment to put a pencil mark in the part before he's up and running again. There's no stop at all.
Yeah, the maestro without a voice,
His maestro's voice.
His maestro's non-voice. Yeah, but it's better today, really. It's already a little bit better. Brahms once said the best concert is the ones once I sit in this kind of a chair and read my score, And in a way, I like to read music very much, and then you get the ideas. But things I have done in earlier days, I certainly try to listen to if I can, and check whether this was right or not, what I can do better, and so on. Right now, everybody together just for the beginning, and then we decide to on. Listen. It's always a little late, yeah? Yes. Yeah. Now, still, the first note on one should be more important than the second beat, yeah? Try this once more, please, because it's different, but I like it in some way. It's not as harsh, than the other thing. That's right. And emphasize the 1, 2. You have to have your interpretation before you start to rehearse. Absolutely. You hope that your interpretation will change to the better while you're rehearsing, because you always discover things. I mean, this is the thing of a real masterpiece. It will always be a challenge. So you never really fulfill it. You never really reach it. It's just trying to get there. And that makes it so exciting, so spannend, as we say in German, Yeah. Now, can you listen to that? Then we cannot be wrong. Dia da da di da, and yeah, just play it without me once, and see, that's it. Yeah, okay. It's always better, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Now, I think I like it if you do a very short, very quick non-divisi, it should be okay. Let's do it all together from the beginning, and we play. So, two, and just left hand. That was beautiful, yes. Now a little earlier. Sing. And listen.
Actually, what happens usually is really loud, softer, faster, together, and so on. Because the rest, there are things in music you can measure. And the things you can measure actually describe the quality of technique and of the standard, so to speak, the tuning of the piano, After this, art starts. This you only can reach out for, and you only can somehow achieve once you have a certain amount of technical basis.
I would like so much if we could somehow manage to make music a little bit more language. Bum bum body da da dim, bum 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 bari bum bari ba. It's something. It's a little too mechanical. Yeah, I think I need another one here. But anyway, okay, let's do it. What papa di allegro. That's for you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There you go. So, an answer here. These are the things I mean. As you read a book, you read the words, and when you read the music, don't read the notes. It's that's a new thought. Yeah, it's a new thought, and we have to play a new thought. Okay, we are somewhere here around here. 40. It's 25 with the upbeat. 25 with the upbeat.
I think there's something in between orchestra and the conductor which is not really to be explained. I sometimes really think there's a lot of things going on which we cannot explain because somehow you feel a difficult spot or something like that. It's coming closer and you feel somebody's nervous and then you think he'll do it, and he does it. If you get nervous yourself, he'll mess it up. It is something which happens between human beings that actually, if you trust, he trusts, and he'll feel better, and he will do better. And that has something to do with your willpower.
No, you forgot it. You did forget the flute here. Can we start somewhere? It must be. No, let's take 57. Yeah, 57. 57. Yeah. And now watch it here. Here we go. Good. Together. Listen to each other. Yes. It's just the short notes, really. We need some nicer tone. It's just tuck, 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 tuck. It can't be this way.
As we know from Leopold Mozart and from everybody, once you are in a dry hall, you play faster. Once you are in the Musikverein in Vienna, you will play slower than you play in the festival hall. And it's always a dialogue because between, let's say, the hall, the conditions, the people, the instruments and all this.
Maybe compared to us, it's a little too much, yeah? Maybe it's a little too loud, yes? Okay. What is about this turn, page turn there? It's difficult. Can you do it before? Let's do the ending of the first part, please. 97, please. 97, and try to manage, yeah? Going on. 97. 1, 2, jump. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. One more time. 1, 2. Tempo. Not slower. Yes, that's nice. A little bit less. Listen, could you emphasize these down-going 16s? Okay, we do it, please. The forte, which would be upbeat to 130, yes? Upbeat to 130. 1, 2, 'Here, I need you more, yeah? Yeah.
One thing I believe very strongly in is the seating of the orchestra. I mean, you cannot play Beethoven with the first violin left and the second violin at their side on the left side. And you cannot play Haydn this way. This must be the second violins on the right side up to 1925. It's a total different picture in sound you get. And that's what I'm very sad about, that so very, very few conductors do that, and very few orchestras do it.
It can make for problems in that you have to listen much more carefully, particularly with passages where the two violin sections work together. But we have the compensation of having a wonderful bass section beside us, and I think on balance the extra rhythmic impulse we get from that offsets the feeling of isolation from our colleagues on the second violins.
If you can see the bow of the leader, it helps, and I can see the conductor, and in this hall it's very easy to hear. So the combination of those three things, with a bit of luck, it should be together.
There's a slight problem. There's a slight problem. I would like first and second, please. We start here. This is the bar we need. Just first and second for a moment. 217. Okay, 1, 2. No. Shh. Don't jump too much. Always a little bit gestrichen. Yeah. Not together.
Well, as far as we're concerned, as string players, especially fiddle players, all of the symphonies are full of incredibly sort of difficult passage work, which fly across, all over the fiddle.
1, 2. Yes. And listen to the C. It's too sharp. 1, 2. No. Shh. Would you play it on, right on? It does jump by itself. We don't have to do too much. Play it just for intonation, right on. 1, 2. One more. 1, 2. Okay. Give me the 219, just a second violin for a moment. 1, 2. Shh. Let's do it slower. 1 and 2 and. No. The ba. It's false. 1, 2 and. No, shh. I have lots of different notes. 1, 2 and. Better, yes. Okay, with us, please, first and second. It is 17, 217, 1, 2. Yeah, but shh. Don't rush these. Don't rush these. They have to play 16s. 1, 2. Here. Yeah. Okay. And now let's do it once more and make a little music out of it. Let's do the second half of the movement once more. I would love that,
262.
262. Just a second.
Wrong notes, making a mistake, being early, being too late, being not quite rhythmical. Good musicians notice this themselves, and now the guy in front of them tells them again, you see? So that's losing time. You have to know exactly what's necessary to tell people and what's not necessary to tell people.
Very good.
You also really must remember that these human beings are sitting there playing under different people, being told all the time different things, maybe even concerning the same piece.
1, 2, jump. Careful. Yes. Very good. Yes.
I think Haydn has been neglected because it was Haydn, you know, because it's actually too, how you call it, challenging, too anspruchsvoll, you know. It is very difficult music, really, as sometimes appealing as it sounds, but it is much more complicated, really, to understand than Mozart. I think why he's played so seldom is that even up to now, it is harder to follow Haydn and to enjoy Haydn than to enjoy Mozart. You cannot imagine a Haydn-Kugel, you know, no chocolate, you know, no chocolate.
Second movement. Doesn't concern you too much. And now not too much diminuendo. And we can afford. That's it, yes. Much better, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. First and second, the up it rather wide, rather long notes, but the those forzato, a little bit separated. Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Just this is bar number 9 with the up it. Up it not too short and. Now this is a little bit. And that's the same problem. Go on, yes, on. Nice pizzicati. Plum, 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 plum. Very important, yes. Very nice. Sounds good together. Now watch it here. That's nice.
Haydn, I mean, he's such a genius, man, in surprising people. What can you do with music? Where can you move to? And being able to come back and still keep in the classical form. It's outstanding what this man does. There's something, kind of a reaction which is very strange in music making, and I mean most likely in other fields of human life too. The more you deal, for instance, with the public in a positive way, the more, of course, you become creative. And I don't know exactly what kind of people he had as an audience, but in both ways, if they did bore him, it would have been a challenge because he didn't want to be bored. So he offered things, new things to surprise them, you see? And if they didn't bore him, it was a great dialogue. So in both ways, if you have a very stable public, it can help.
Now here a little bit. Yes, but not too much on the note, a little bit after the note, and listen always to them. Okay, we are here where, why don't we start, please, a little bit earlier, 22 with the upbeat, yes? 22 with the upbeat. That's not quite what I like. Wah, tita, there's too much of a gap in between. And it's not together, not together. And that's nice. Yes, that was it. Tempo. Basso. After the Lord. Yes. Okay. Now tempo. Tell a little story. Mars. There's a slight sforzato on this on this A sharp, yeah? A little sforzato on the A sharp, that would be important. Okay, we start please in 29 with the upbeat. And just singing. Yes. And now you can go down a little bit more. Here. Okay? Is it clear? Before the A sharp, you go down to the lower part of the. And now this should be nice and together. Don't come late here. Tempo. Little too much second, yeah, bassoon. Little too much, yes, that's too loud. I'm so sorry, but it's just not in tune. It's just not. You must listen to the other ones. You see, it's just not in tune. Okay, we start, please. The forte, 41, please. 41. And. Espressivo. Cello soft. That's nice, so you get the flute, yeah? You are behind. You are behind, yes. Listen, Lucy, I think is your name. We need your second. We need the E, yes, we need that. This is. Can you a little bit behind, yes, on this on the 8th note, okay? We can have the sforzato in 61, I think, yeah. Yeah. with the upbeat on time. Sorry. Sorry. I hope it's not me. Yes, good. I hope it's not me. No, it wasn't me. Okay. We didn't come too close, did we? No. Okay, good. 65 with the upbeat. 65 with the upbeat. And. That's nicer, yes? Oh, we get a little bit excited. That's nicer, yes? I'm surprised it's different than the other times. Not easy. It's not to torture anybody. It's just not easy. I know that. It's very difficult. Let's try it.
He likes to be finicky about intonation, wind intonation especially, which drives the wind players mad occasionally. But it's very good for the end result because performances are always very, very well prepared.
What can you do? You go down.
I mention wrong intonation quite a bit because that's sometimes very difficult to judge for a musician if you sit right into the group and you sit there and you don't know maybe sometimes who is wrong, you know, because intonation is something very special and of course for the conductor a little easier to fix than for the one who is sitting there.
Try to get the first bassoon a little down. Try that. 1, 2. Yes, okay. We are doing fine. And we will take 81, please. 81. This is the last forte bar. 2, 3, and two. Now sneak in nicely. 2. That's much better. Everybody listens to the cello. See, different color. Not too sharp. Nothing. Espressivo. Und now speak up. Say something. Don't play the, you know, these little black dots, they don't mean anything. You have to speak with us, you have to talk to us. Boy, 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 you know? Not boy, 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 yeah? Okay. T-da-dee, T-da-da-dee, where is it?
D major.
Yeah, that's right.
D major, 95.
And we disappear.
If a soloist, if a solo oboe or something, somebody like a real solo player offers you something and you like it, it might be totally different to what you pictured and you still like it. On the other hand, if it's not matching and you cannot really approach it from your point of view, then you have to deal with it. And one of the Furtwängler rehearsals I heard after the war, I listened to a rehearsal he did in Munich, and he did Brahms first, and he did the oboe solo. And the orchestra was sitting there for about 30 minutes, and he was only rehearsing with this one oboe, you know, and really stopping every second, you know. It was unbelievable. Very interesting, though, but, I mean, a real killer, you know, for the orchestra and for the soloist and everything. But he did really want it differently, and so he worked it out, and finally it turned out to be very good.
You teach people love. Better, yes. Together. I can, during rehearsal I can correct a lot, but once you play, you must hear it. You must hear it yourself, whether it's right movement.
I guess in the days of Haydn, having Haydn, he was more than a conductor. You know, wherever he was sitting, if he would have played timpani, he would have been more of a conductor than most of the conductors nowadays. And there was, of course, a leading spirit. But the real difference was, I mean, Beethoven didn't sit down and give a Mozart recital. You see, they played their music, and that's really music making. The disaster started with the conductors in a different way, because we, since Mendelssohn and so on, we start looking backwards, and we don't compose our own music and play our own music, you see. And I think the tremendous advantage of the early classic was that they could really deal with something which was totally inside of them, because it was their music. You see, and if you had Haydn, he played Haydn, mainly Haydn, even if he adored Mozart, but he played mainly Haydn. And so he knew what he wanted, and he told people, and people would do it. We have to find out, and that's if you wouldn't have recordings, who would ever be able to play jazz in 50 years from now? Nobody.
Okay, yeah. Not too short. Pianissimo. Not too short.
If I have done things before with an orchestra, I do not stop a lot, because then they know and they remember, and I just have to talk while I'm conducting a little bit to people. How can you somehow convey things to people and convince people? And then you should use the shortest way, because there are, of course, some very good colleagues, some of them, who talk more than they play, and an orchestra likes to play,
So we go real forte, yeah. Real piano, real forte, yeah. Okay, second half, yeah. Second half, okay. Happy to 15 and watch this one here, better. Piano, subito. Good. Okay. Now shout. Yeah, I wouldn't drop that too much. Yeah, especially 37 or what is long notes. Yeah. And here, what bar is it?
32.
32, second note, not too weak. Ram, D, ram, B. Okay. 22.
Excuse me, Maestro, could I just ask,
Yes, please.
in bars 30 and 31, what the first violins are doing? There's a different ornament.
Let me see. 30. Yeah. Ram. Yeah.
It's just
that's
the same.
Real
I've
modern,
got a-
that's different here.
Yeah.
And yeah, modern. Ram. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's it. Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 22, forte. Okay, and yes. Not too short. Good. Repeat. Clean. Nice. Piano. Subito. Watch it here. Team, bam, by 1, 2, okay. Listen to the timpani. Let's do a real piano and quite a bit of bagpipe. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Piano here. If we play too loud, we don't hear the effect of the bassoon in poco forte. Here we go. And yes. Okay. Good. Careful.
I wanted this bassoon suddenly playing forte, everybody else is playing piano. I think Mozart wouldn't have done it. It would have hurt Mozart's elegant aesthetic.
Now loud.
He likes a bit of feedback. I mean, he, for example, there's a bagpipe sounding bit in the trio, and he asked for us to play it loud, and we gave it a bit of stick, you know, and whenever we get to this bit now, he grins at us. But he likes it if there's a bit of eye contact. He doesn't like us just to sort of sit there with our nose in the copy. And he's got eyes all around the orchestra all the time, and he likes to catch people's eye, and there's a bit of to and fro going on, which is very encouraging.
At the end. Diminuendo. 2. Very good. Last one.
And we repeat the da capo.
Pardon me?
Da capo repeats.
In the da capo we repeat also. Don't forget, in the da capo we repeat.
In the da capo we repeat also.
All right. Yes. Okay. Mark it.
If somebody really deals with Baroque music, trying to achieve something which he thinks is authentic, you can learn a lot from him.
He's a musicologist. Yeah?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's what Glenn Gould called the musicological overkill. Yeah. Okay.
We learn about ornaments, we learn about phrasings, we learn about how it might be, might have sound, but we should translate this in our days. We should use, I think, we should use the Klangwelt, you know, the sound world of our time.
1. Yeah, very good, but don't do any echo. Just at the end a little diminuendo, and again as stupid as we start, you know? Okay.
The ensemble is hard. The actual bassoon playing side of it is not as hard as later pieces like Richard Strauss or Mahler, but the ensemble has to be so precise to get it with the violins that the slightest discrepancy is obvious to everybody. He also said an interesting thing which is good for ensemble passages: don't insist on being correct. Where you can, if you're playing with a group of people, you can think, well, I'm right, and go for it that way. But of course that's no good. You've got to be right with everybody else. So he said that to one section of the strings. They played it again and it was 10 times better, which proves that it works.
All right, just for the string section, 32, just strings, please, for a moment. Just the strings. 32. Forte. 1, 2, 3. Do we have any kind of mezzo forte and then going up? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Okay. 1, 2, jump. Yeah, that's. And no rushing there on the 8th note because they have 16th over here. Okay, 1, 2, jump. Okay, take care of the bumping of the A and the G. Yeah. Okay, where we start.
Joined in then.
Yeah, right. Let's do it, please, in 38, 39, 40, 41 with the upbeat. Yeah, 41 with the upbeat. Okay. 1, 2. Now with us, and not too heavy over there, yeah? Okay, so that would be after the double bar, 32, 32. 1, 2, 3. We are a little too slow now. Same thing. Well, you know, repeated note, not too much. At the end, once you change, you do a little crescendo, yeah? Okay. Number here. Also for you, 70, what is it, 72, 74, not too much, yeah? And then later, once you change into the G sharp and so on, then you give a little bit more, okay? 71 is enough. Maybe 66 we should start. 66. 1, 2. Little slow. We are a little too slow. All right, let's do please just the string section, and we start in 105. 105. All the strings. No winds, please. 1, 2, 3. Can we do this once a little?
I think there's a danger, of course, if you have to cope with a tremendous amount of music in a short time. It makes a difference whether you have 10 days and you spend every day 20 minutes, as we do in reading, or whether you spend 10 times 20 minutes in one day. You need this development. And there is a danger if you have to manage to achieve a certain level of perfection and interpretation in a short time, that the vertical approach to music making is somehow neglected. And that's something which actually is the responsibility of the leading people of the management and of the chief conductor to avoid this as far as possible.
We start again in 105, yeah? 105. Tempo is a little too slow. 1, 2, jump. Yes.
There's a tremendous sense of humor, and I think that's Haydn. And their humor is something which is the greatest gift to human being, you know. And if you don't have it, you cannot get it, you know. You cannot learn owning humor. You cannot learn it. You learn it a little bit by aging, you see. I mean, you look at, as Falstaff does, in a different way at the world. But Haydn has had a tremendous sense of humor, and certainly humor as a part of humanity, as part of human being.
His personality comes out in the music very much. I'm a great fan of Haydn anyway, but apart from that, not only do I like listening to Haydn, but I like playing Haydn as well, so I'm very happy today.
Nicely, listen to the bassoon and tempo fast, con spirito. Now watch. One, careful now, here. Shh. Yes. Zaccatissimo. Careful. Yes. From the string. Tempo. Tempo. One. 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 And short. Very nice. We do this tomorrow again. Take the break now. Thank you.
It's absolutely almost impossible to write music like this in our days, you know. This kind of entertaining spirit on this tremendous high level, you know, we don't own this anymore. You know, this is in the best sense entertainment, as music should be. And this kind of spirit which Haydn offers to us, and entertaining us on this very high level, shows us at the same time how much we are missing, how little we have to offer.